Hampshire of the early days of the state. And along every path, California native plants have been arranged in complementary combinations. Within a few short weeks, because February brings spring to Los Angeles, the California poppies, which are just beginning to sport tight little nuggets of buds, will bloom a buttery golden yellow, and all the salvia will send up thin wands of pink or red or purple bells held high above their gray-green rosettes of leaves. But Isabelle notices none of it. Is it possible for her to learn something from a man everyone describes as a recluse? Who will show up this morning in his office? The Jablonski who wrote those two stunning, emotionally raw books? Or the taciturn eccentric everyone describes? Or maybe, oh my God, a new thought. Maybe they are one and the same. As Isabelle climbs the stone stairway that leads to the upper campus, she joins the tide of students rushing to their 10 o'clock classes. Through the heavy wooden door of Lathrop Hall and into the classroom building they go, en masse. It is at the second-floor landing that Isabelle pauses. Here are the professors' offices. Here it is quieter. She reminds herself to take a few deep breaths as she contemplates what's in front of her. The hallway is long, with many tightly closed doors on each side. The wooden floor is worn from 100 years of students' feet shuffling along its narrow length. The old-fashioned ceiling globes, positioned every 15 feet, are impossibly dirty and give off a weak light. She hears a male voice loudly imploring someone to hold on a minute. Now hold on. And as she nears the fourth door on the right, the door she needs to knock on, the raised voice gets louder. That must be him. He must be yelling at someone. Not a good start. She wants to turn around and leave. Daniel Jablonski is on the phone with his second ex-wife, and they have reached the point in their habitual conversation that they are shouting over each other. Why is it that his divorce from Cheryl seems to fill up more of his life than their short, misguided marriage ever did? Why can't she be more like his first wife, Stephanie, who transferred another man into the slot labeled husband? Simon Bannister is a man better suited to Stephanie, Daniel readily admits, although he isn't sure his children felt the same way years ago when Simon entered their lives. Old news, Daniel manages to interject, as Cheryl rants on about how their marriage blew her life off course, and how she's never been able to regain her momentum, which of course is all his fault. Why are we still having this conversation? He asks Cheryl. But she doesn't even miss a beat. Her diatribe continues. She's crazy, he now believes. And he was crazy to marry her. Desperate is more like it. Fevered, to believe that love or something like it would jumpstart the engine of his writing career, which, after the success of his first two novels, had rapidly descended into oblivion. Daniel has a great fondness for his third and fourth novels, but apparently no one else does, neither the critics nor the book-buying public. He has no idea why. Writing for him is a mysterious process, and he has no explanation for the fact that it yielded first 2 books of wondrous reviews and respectable sales, and then 2 books that fell off the face of the earth. Isabelle stands outside his office door and contemplates the etiquette of knocking. On the one hand, the man inside seems entirely preoccupied by a very personal conversation, and it would be embarrassing to interrupt. On the other, she doesn't want him to think she's late for their 10 o'clock meeting. After several minutes of debating and realizing that the argument inside isn't subsiding, Isabelle knocks loudly. Should she call out his name? But she doesn't have to. Daniel, pacing as Cheryl's list of grievances continues to grow, hears Isabelle's knock, seizing on it, grateful for an excuse to end the conversation.